Hi there, this is Chris. Okay, we're going to tie up the thigh, well, the legs, leading to the hips for the rest of the evening now. Well, it's evening here anyway. So, this is just going to be a short thing really. I just want to kind of show you something here. So, I just call this selection set in my selection thing. You won't have this, okay? Now, actually before I start, if I go to my front viewport, a couple of things I'm going to notice about the model now. I already built the hoses, so I've got those hidden. What I've actually done is I've saved them, and I can load them back up again at any time I want, just by merging them into the file. That way I can delete them, and I don't have to worry about them being there. All gone out my way. It cuts down on processing time, and also reduces the amount of polygons, because we've got two very high detailed legs now, and so you don't want to eat all your polygons at once. I'm going to build a couple of big hoses up here later on. Now all I did for this was selected this object here, and then applied a mirror to it. I then dragged my mirror over here. You've seen me do it with the toes earlier and various other parts of this model, so it shouldn't come as that much of a surprise. When you do, you have to go up to these joints up here, and basically they'll be like this when you get them, facing in the wrong direction. So all you have to do is select them, make sure you're in your motion panel under parameters, and just click flip. Find all the ones that are just messed up. There we are, and just flip. Okay, that's all you're going to have to do. Do remember as you go through the model, if you're watching this, I mean, this is just kind of a tip, please do remember to reset your X forms whenever you do anything, okay? It's going to save you so many tears later on. Anyway, like I was saying, just hold down Alt, there we are. I've got this thing called set here, okay? And if you followed my top tips, then great. If you haven't, well, that's okay, because there's an included bonus file with this, by the way, just on quick rigging. Now, what I've done is I've set this up just quick and dirty as a simple leg rig, and as you see, you can move it around and do funky things with it. Now, I'm going to bring this down. Out there. Same over here. Just wanted to bring these down a little bit more. There you go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to show you how I set this up like so. Then I'm going to set up a couple of handy little kind of visual cues, so we don't keep having to go here and click set if we want to move our leg around. See? And you'll notice how this all moves. It's really cool. I like when it does that. Okay, so links. What I've done, I've changed the pivots, as you know, and use my drawing tool. It's one pivot now being moved to here for this leg. This leg here has had its pivot moved to here, and the foot has had its pivot moved to there. Okay? That's all you've got to remember. Links. I'm going to set up my links now. Now remember, all the things like these pistons, they're already set up. We don't need to worry about that. They're all linked to the right objects already. So, if you go over here and just lift this, you'll notice these all lift up. If you go here, oops, not there, sorry, here, you'll notice I can lift up the entire leg. Now, obviously, because there's a skeleton in it, it bounces. Whee! I think that is so cool. Love that. Anyway, this one doesn't have IK on it, and I'm going to just set this one up quickly. So, press F4, just so I can see what's selected, and I'm going to drag this to here. Now this one, just select it by clicking, I'm going to drag up to here, and then this one, same again, I'm going to drag it up to here. Okay, press F4. Now what this means is, if I select this, I can lift up the entire leg and make it move around from here, from there, from there. These are all obviously separate bits. What that means is that if I want to pose an individual part of the leg, I can, as you can see. Okay, now ignoring that, I'm going to select this piece here, and go to my animation, IK solver, HI solver, and just click on here. And what we've got now is the same as we had over there, but look, if I go into my front viewport and pull out, And I better name this set 2 actually, just temporarily. Now if I lift up, can you see the first problem? And it's this knee here. The knee shouldn't be doing that. Okay, it just breaks apart. Extremely unrealistic model. So we're going to fix our knee first. Now that's one of the reasons why this is called set 1. Now over here, I'm going to go to my IK, and I'm going to turn off all movement on my Z axis. What that should mean is, if I go to my set 2 now, I might have to turn off the other one as well. I can check it against this leg, which I've already done. Yeah, I've got the Y and the Z turned off, so I'll turn off the Y on this one too. This way it can only move on one axis. There you go. And because it's forced to move on just one axis, instead it forces this knee to move. And by forcing this knee to move, the entire structure moves and works appropriately. See? Notice how it's rotating there at the hip. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Eee. See? Okay. I'm just going to place our foot down for the moment. We don't really need to adjust anything else, not for the time being anyway. So what I want to do is build us a couple of helpers. So if I go to my top viewport and zoom out, and I'm going to create just a nice circle, and I'm not even going to make it with a display render mesh. I do sometimes just because I'm like incredibly unobservant. I won't this time. So I'm going to put this here, so it's just around the foot. Now I'm going to take this one and do the same. Actually no, sod it. I'm not going to use these big circles. I always think they look a bit crap. I'll just start using round circles. So what I'm going to do is create a circle just here, and I'm going to call this the leg control 01. Go to my perspective, no, top viewport. Press H and just look for my leg control 01. Make sure it's pretty much central. There we are. Now if I go to my set 1, just use a link on it to this circle. This means that now if I just select my circle and move it, the leg moves too. See? And what I'll do is copy this across, so I'll just hold shift and drag. Call it leg control 2. And if I select set 2, I can just drag that too. There we go. Zoom out. And as you see, I can control both the legs at once if I want to even. See? Weird flying pose perhaps, who knows. Sort of bizarre jumping thing. But of course, as well as that, I can grab these two and stretch and shrink. It's a lot of fun anyway. Give it a try. If you've never actually rigged anything before and you followed the tutorial, you'll be pleased to know that you now have. Well done. And you can do all sorts of fun things with it too. Anyway, now that we've got this bit done, I'm going to move on to modelling the actual abdomen itself, which has the pelvis actually built into it. And I hope this bit helped. This is just a kind of fill-in bit. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part. And remember what I said. I didn't show how to mirror this leg, simply because, well, initially I was going to, but being honest, I kind of mirrored it and did the work and made all the pistons face the right direction. And it took about 20 minutes, and it's all repetitive stuff of just clicking, you know, flip, flip, flip. So I thought, well, you don't want to see it. I showed you how to do too. So this is one thing that you can do yourselves, I think, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next bit.